All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking about real music, real controversy, a real rock and roll feud, doing it in real time for a few real people out there, just like you and just like me. All right. This whole week, I've been featuring this album, and I think it's worth checking out. Blackberry Smoke, Be Right Here. You want some classic rock? You want some Southern rock with soul and blues and a little bit of country thrown in for good measure. This is a juggernaut, okay? And you need to go listen to it. Production value and songwriting and playing and the sonic quality of this is superb. It's the way they used to make music, right? And in the old days, you had your melodic rock bands. You had like Night Ranger and Journey and Styx, and then you had Lynyrd Skynyrd, and you had the Outlaws, and you had Molly Hatchet. And I liked those days. Those were good days because you got the rootsier stuff, the bluesier stuff, right alongside the more mainstream and more commercial sounding stuff. This is a throwback. It's not for everyone. I get it. I've got patrons, though, that are responding in a positive way. So check it out. I will have a link in the video itself where you could order this and tell your friends about it, or just listen to it, or whatever you want to do. Use it as a coaster. Just keep in mind that this is a cardboard CD, and so if your adult beverage is cold and you put it on top there, you're going to damage the CD. So just trying to give people some helpful advice. Now, Roger Waters, on the other hand, is not giving out, he's giving out his 2 cents. He may think it's helpful advice. Other people may not appreciate it. Man, is this a difficult topic because on either side of this, you're going to get pushback. You're going to get destroyed no matter which side of this issue you take. Israel versus Palestine. Roger Waters versus Bono from U2. So two super well-known rock stars are clashing over the Israel-Palestine conflict. Roger Waters says to Bono, "Your opinion is so disgusting." In a recent interview, Roger Waters openly criticized Bono, urging him to rethink his actions and words. Now, has this ever occurred in human history? Think about this. Dave, I get this all the time. Dave, I like your channel, man. I like you. You're a good guy. they throw the compliments out first, You've been doing really good work, but what you said the other day about so-and-so is so wrong, and you don't know what you're talking about. You're an idiot. So I went from being this great guy, really like your work, to you're a complete idiot, Dave. And I go, thank you. I will take that under consideration. So do you think Bono is going to be moved by Roger Waters? Most of the media right now is portraying Roger Waters as this unhinged old goat. Okay. Now, keep in mind, Roger has been unhinged for a long time. This isn't new information. I mean, he's been unhinged since what? The Final Cut. He's been pretty unhinged, and probably even before that. Anyway, if you're a Pink Floyd fan and you enjoy the Roger Waters, David Gilmour era of Pink Floyd, this has got to be kind of tough for you, because I think those two guys worked well together for a while, but Roger was pulling the band in a direction and Dave was pulling the band in another direction. Obviously, Dave and Roger don't agree on politics, and apparently, Roger and Bono could be even worse. I don't know. So anyway, it says here, Roger Waters, an outspoken critic of Israel, has taken issue with Bono's salute to the victims of the October 7th attack on the Supernova Music Festival by Hamas. Now, let me stop there. Because again, you're going to get in trouble by just saying that. Because some people have downplayed this attack and said it wasn't an attack. They've gone full moon landing didn't happen. So it gets a little bit difficult when, if you don't accept a premise, to have a debate about what happened. Israel reported this stuff. I'm pretty sure all countries who were allies to Israel said, yes, this was really bad. They showed pictures. The pictures looked really bad. But again, some people just, no, this was just a pretext for what comes next, which is Israel going ballistic on the Gaza area and Hamas and so forth. So again, there's no good place to be in this argument. You know where you should be is like in the corner of the room somewhere. Now, you have to really ask for this stuff in order to be, skewered by whoever. Like if you're just talking about Israel all the time, you're going to get attacked. If you're talking about Hamas all the time, you're definitely going to get attacked. And there are things on either side of this that you can, grab onto and come to a conclusion. But what happens later is that the two sides become more polarized, more angry. You've got students protesting all over the country. By the way, no offense to the students, but many of them don't know where this location is. Like geographically, if you hand them a map, don't give them a cell phone. Just give them a real old-fashioned map and say, hey, where is the Gaza Strip? Where is Israel on this map? And many of them probably don't know where it is, but many of them are lost. They're spiritually lost. They don't have an anchor. They don't have anything that keeps them grounded. So many of them are looking for a cause. And I think Roger Waters is a great leader of a cause. Bono, over the years, has been a leader in some regards of causes. I will give Bono some credit because he does do some things for the poor. He's also talked in a positive way about Jesus, although I'm not sure his Jesus is the same Jesus that I believe in. But, that's a theological issue, and I'd have to sit down with him to understand his view of God and so forth. Roger Waters hasn't expressed a lot of faith in God. I think he is more of a secular humanist type guy, but again, I don't know for sure. Maybe he does have faith in God. His music doesn't seem to reflect that. But I think he understands his version of good versus evil. And so this is the debate here. So this is what Roger is really mad about. So he's taken issue with Bono's salute to the victims of the October 7th attack. He was really mad when Bono performed the song Pride in the Name of Love. And right before he did the song, Bono said this: in light of what's happened in Israel and Gaza, a song about nonviolence seems somewhat ridiculous, even laughable. But our prayers have always been for peace and for nonviolence. But our hearts and our anger, where that's pointed. So sing with us and those beautiful kids at that music festival. Tough to really take issue with that when he's talking about peace and nonviolence. Some who know the song is about Martin Luther King Jr., and I remember when that song came out, and I think I was still in college radio at the time, and that song was a monster song, and it really focused attention on the peaceful message of MLK Jr., right? That's what that was about. But now, I think if you're putting this song out there about this issue, and there's a lot of violence that happened after the attack. The attack was bad, but then there's more violence going on. Some people probably can't understand where you're going with that. The performance included an altered lyric of their 1984 hit. Yeah, I was still in college. Referencing the October 7th attack, months after the event, the bassist, that would be Waters, remains incensed by Bono's actions. As he disclosed, anybody who knows Bono should go and pick him up by the ankles and shake him until he stops being an enormous bleep. That's a word, by the way, that ends in T and starts with SHI. We have to start saying to these people, your opinion is so disgusting and so degrading, sticking up for the Zionist entity. What he did a couple of weeks ago in the Sphere in Las Vegas, singing about the Stars of David, was one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen in my life. Roger also implied that Bono, among others, has not sufficiently researched the conflict. He recounted advice from his mother. My mother told me when faced with difficult problems, the first thing to do is to read. Then the next part is easy. Do the right thing. So anyway, I don't know, folks. I think that both of these guys are talented. Both of them, I think, might be a little too political for their own good. At a certain point, once you go down the political road, you get, diminishing returns for your investments. I mean, look at this channel, right? If I just stuck to the music part of things, is Bono a good singer? On the next episode of the RMO, is Roger Waters too old to be on stage? Maybe those topics are more interesting to people. Roger, I think, for what he does, he's never been a great singer. He's a pretty good bass player. He's a good songwriter, but I think he needs a collaborator. And a lot of people prefer the Gilmore stuff. Gilmore stuff is more accessible than the Roger Waters stuff. And recently, of course, Waters redid Dark Side of the Moon, and he got destroyed by critics pretty much everywhere on that. And the critics used to love everything that Roger Waters did and said. So they've kind of done a 180 away from him. And Bono, again, I'm not sure about Bono. Bono says some interesting things that I disagree with most of the time. So anyway, it's two guys who I think have gotten too deep into the political realm, and they really need to focus more in the music realm. Bono could have just skipped that whole issue. That song, to me, is about the original civil rights movement, Pride in the Name of Love, and it's a well-written song. And I wouldn't change the memory of what that was to people when it first came out and try to sort of overlay it on this issue. I don't think it makes a lot of sense. And even Bono said that. A song about nonviolence, and we've got one country who's attacking another country, and then another country maybe doing more damage to things and making things worse. And there's no diplomacy. There are no peace negotiations. And so that's really where Bono could focus and probably kind of, split the wicket, as they say in some country, and find some common ground here and not just go off on one side or the other. Some people would say, Dave, there's only one side of this, brother, and you need to get on the right side. And so then we'd start having a debate and an argument. And I can almost guarantee you that nothing would happen to end this. It would just be more of the same tribalism and lack of understanding and cooperation. And maybe there is no middle ground here. Maybe, again, this is just going to go on for eternity, and we're just bystanders watching this. This has been going on for hundreds, if not thousands of years. So two musicians are really not going to change things here. They're just going to keep going. So anyway, what was it? Burt Bacharach and Hal David said a long time ago, what the world needs now is love, sweet love. A little bit of Jesus in there, or a big bit of Jesus in there as the key love component to that. Jackie DeShannon, right? It was Jackie DeShannon. I think it was like the year I was born. That's how old that song is. I hear that song every so often, and it's a show-stopping song. Man, those guys could write amazing songs. Amazing album of great music right here too. Blackberry Smoke, Be Right Here, a traditional American Southern rock, blues, soul, little bit of country. It's all good right here. Also, folks, if you're subscribing to the channel, there's a little drop down thing when you hit the notification bell. Make sure you select the all. Okay, select all. Don't select some. Select all so you get notifications on every video. Also, Patreon, YouTube memberships. We have to keep going here. I do content like this. I get like 20 views. So I rely on the patrons who support this channel, people who have never supported. It's, whatever you want to donate. If it's $1 a month, great. If it's $5, if it's 10, YouTube members, typically I give YouTube members early previews of these videos, actually the complete video, not just the preview. So that's one little perk. Most people would say, maybe that's not a perk. Maybe I don't want to see the videos first. But if you want to support the channel, I really appreciate that. God bless everyone. And like I say, this is the perfect video to say it. Pray for peace. Pray for peace in the Middle East and around the world and in your own heart. Because the only way we're going to get to a peaceful place is if we have peace in our own hearts. So there you have it. Thanks for watching.